Hi everyone, we've got a very cool one here today. We are making a Morse code decoder. So if we look at the instructions here, it supplies us with a brief definition of Morse code. Over here we can see the explain dots and dashes, some extra information, and an example of Hey Jude. Alright, let's get into it. First thing I want to do is print the Morse code so we can see what we're working with. So here we can see this is the Morse code we are sent. Okay, so my idea to solve this toy problem is to take each one of these and literally replace it with its symbol value, including space. So I'm going to create a list that will allow us to convert between Morse code and alphabet. There's going to be a dictionary where the key is the North code and the value is the Roman equivalent. So there we have it, we have all our Morse code letters. You'll notice here with space, the reason for that is, if we look here, each letter here has the equivalent Morse code encoding, but space is not encoded. So when there's more than a single space, I want to replace that with an encoding, which is space. And that way we'll keep a consistent spacing between our letters. So first step, let's add that replacement code. Now I want to create a list where we take this one string and split it into an array where each element is a letter. To do that, we're going to go words list equals Morse code dot split. This is our decoded string. Now we're going to leap over each word and replace it with the North code equivalent. Let's print our decoded, see what we're working with. So here we are, we decoded into Hey Jude. Let's return it. And looking good. Oh, here we got an error, keyword error. Let's look at what key this is. So here we can see the key corresponds to an exclamation mark, and I cannot understand why that is. So I'm not sure what's causing this error that the exclamation lookup for the Morse code is failing. So I'm just going to throw in a Pythonic hack here, or rather ask for forgiveness and permission. We're going to throw it in a try accept block. Try accept. We're going to try decode it. If it fails, we're going to query if the word is exactly equal to the exclamation Morse code, well then we know that what we're actually trying to do is add an exclamation point. Let's see if it works. Oh, and there we go. Passed valve, failed 0. I'm going to go into full screen, clean up our code a bit. Ran it again, and there we go. Cool guys, well there we go. And as always, here is this whole decoder in one awesome line. You have got to love Python. Let's try and understand what's going on here. So firstly, we're using the join to iterate whatever iterable is passed here. And between each index, we are adding a space. Then moving on to the inner bracket, which is quite a mouthful. We start off over here for each word in the Morse code, stripping it of beginning and trailing spaces, then splitting it by a triple space. Then we move on to the next part, which is another join statement. And within this join statement, we are looping over each letter in the word. The word is over here in this for loop. Each letter in the word, splitting it by a single space, and then looking up the letter in a list of Morse code. And we join that together in this loop, which will give us a string of letters such as ABC, which is then joined here, which will give us our space, ABC space XYZ.